Hey, good morning. It's Saturday. It's I almost said good afternoon, but it's not afternoon. It's good. It's still morning. I know what I'm doing somewhat. Welcome to another episode of Illegal Formation here on the Inside Edge Network. We are brought to you by LPV Productions and, of course, our network-wide sponsor, Alley Rose Fragrances. Um, while we're talking about, just please, I mean, since it's the top of the show, visit AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Candles, body mists, all natural ingredients, vegan, cruelty free, made right here in the U.S. in Charlotte, North Carolina. Small business, so please help them out. Again, it's AlleyRoseFragrances.com, and use our code Inside Edge 20. I can put that up actually while you're looking at us. Use it for 20% off your order. That's first time customers get the 20% off with the Inside Edge 20 code. So please help our sponsor, and help out a small business. TK, man, it's Saturday. We made it to another weekend. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Been enjoying this nice weather lately. Think we're in en route to a storm here shortly. I think a little after 12, we're gonna get some rain, probably a little bit of lightning and thundering going on. So, guess stay inside, snuggle, and get cozy, I guess.
That's it, man. Yeah, I had some travel, some possible travel plans, but I think I'm gonna try to handle everything, all my business from the house today, because man, it's looking like it could get a little wild. I mean, I saw an update this morning that we might be in a increased risk area for tornadoes this afternoon, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Definitely, whatever weather you pay attention to, whether it's on your phone, on TV, the radio, whatever it is, if you're out and about today, definitely listen up, keep your heads up for that. It could get a little wild here later on in the afternoon, so just want to give you a heads up. I'm by no means a meteorologist, so I couldn't tell you why it's going to get wild, but hey, I'm passing on the message. Don't shoot the messenger. We got a pretty good show for you guys today. We got to talk about. There's college basketball is weird right now to me. There's a talking point that I think I just don't quite understand at the moment. But we'll get into that, and we got to talk NFL transactions. TK, it's going down in the NFL. Nothing's official yet. All these trades are still unofficial until next Wednesday, I think. It's the first day.
Wednesday the 11th is the start of the official start of the new league year.
Yeah. And we talk about it all the time. The NFL does a good job of just like staying relevant, right? Like the calendar days where the Super Bowl's been done for a little bit, but we've still got the first day of the league, year or whatever. They're coming up in March, and then the draft, everything else. You got OTAs. There's always little landmarks that they make sure that you're paying attention to as a fan. I think that's actually pretty brilliant, to be honest with you. So whatever, they do a good job of that. But yeah, we'll talk about all the transactions and all the trades that should be by next Wednesday. The legal tampering period is coming up, which is funny. Legal tampering, like what is that even? That's kind of a weird thing. But that's coming up, so we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about all that stuff. We will talk about we got to do some baseball. Got to do some spring baseball. We'll check in with the Guardians quick, see how they're doing. World Baseball Classic started. We got Great Britain out there with whatever. Yeah, we have a baseball team. Just give us the first font. We don't care. Put it right across. It doesn't matter. We talked about the jerseys before the show, man. They're comical to me. I thought they switched them up a little bit this year, but apparently I'm looking at the merch and they look the exact same from last year. So whatever. Listen, Great Britain's not here to win a fashion show. They're here to, probably not win baseball games either, but that's okay. They're here to play a baseball game. They don't care how they look. The old adage: look good, feel good, play good. Great Britain said, forget that. We're gonna look all right, play okay, and we still feel pretty good. So hopefully they're having fun. Just hope both teams have fun, right, TK? All right, well, let's get into this because Miami of Ohio. Let's just get right to it. So what did they do? They finished their season 31-0. The Red Hawks went into Ohio University, beat their rivals last night in overtime, and it got a little tense. I don't know. I don't have the video. I'm not going to play the video, but I don't know if you saw. You could. I'm sure look it up on. It's all over Twitter. It's all over Google. Everything else. After the game, there was a little bit of an exchange between Miami of Ohio players and Ohio University fans. It's a little bit of a spirited situation. They were telling each other they were number one. Not sure that's the finger they used. They got a little confused, a little tired after an overtime game and used the wrong finger. But that's okay. That happens. It's a rivalry, right? You got to add a little Add a little sauce to the rivalry, have a little fun. But anyway, Miami of Ohio, 31-0 after an overtime win. They've had some tough games. They've had some close games. But no one's taking them seriously. And a lot of people, a lot of national pundits say they might not even make the tournament, TK. They're 31-0. They haven't lost a single basketball game since the opening tip of the year. Okay, they're 31-0. Yeah, the schedule is pretty bad. Okay, they're 18-0 in the MAC in the conference. That's fine. They're undefeated. They have the MAC tournament coming up. All the March Madness stuff is coming up. By the way, this is one of my favorite times of the year for sports. I absolutely love the first 2 days of the tournament. That Thursday, Friday of the NCAA tournament. There's really nothing like it. They've added the play-in games, which I think makes it a little weird now. I don't really love the field of 68. I wish it was, I just wish everything started on Thursday. It makes you fill out your bracket a day sooner. I mean, come on. For people like me who procrastinate for a living, basically, you can't give me a day before the tournament. You're excluding me from participation. That's not fair. So I'm working up a lawsuit for that as we speak, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The Thursday and Friday, love that. That's maybe my favorite 2 days in sports, honestly. And I'm not a huge college basketball guy, but that tournament's perfect. I love it. It's great. So anyway, Miami of Ohio was just trying to get there. They're 31-0. They've beaten everyone. And for everyone saying that they haven't played anyone, yeah, that's true. But TK, I don't know if you heard about this. So their head coach, and it's their associate head coach, Jonathan Holmes. He said, look, we got a problem, right? Last year they won 25 games. They returned six of their top 9 players from the year before. So you've got that going on. And then you've got a situation where he said, our schedule doesn't look great. Let's I don't know what you would say. Let's make it a little better, right? So he sent out letters to, he says, up to 100 Division I schools, every conference you can think of. He even mentioned him here: Atlantic 10, Mountain West, all the other top mid-major leagues as well. Trying to get a little bit better opponents, a little bit higher quality opponents. Everyone turned him down. He says it's because they're in this kind of a weird middling range where they're a dangerous mid-major team with a lot of senior leadership, or at least veteran leadership or whatever on the squad, and so nobody wants to play. Well, you would think in a 30, 31, whatever game season, one game isn't going to, it's not going to make or break you. Although, I mean, we've got people saying that one game may actually make or break this Redhawks team. So, first of all, why is nobody willing to play Miami of Ohio? Why would all those schools turn Miami of Ohio down? I mean, one regular season game you're worried about losing to a mid-major? And then also, why is no one taking a 30? And I get it. I understand it's strength of schedule. They haven't played – the Dukes, the Kansases, the Arizonas, the Michigans of the world. I understand that. UConn up there as well. But still, to play 31 games, TK, against any level of opponent and win all 31 games, I think is impressive at any level. Especially, I mean, this is organized basketball. This isn't an intramural league. You know what I mean? Like, they're 31-0. They deserve to be in the field of 68, don't they?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Man. Why does nobody want to play?
The big thing that I see here is this is a team from the MAC conference. I do understand that the Mid-American Conference has made a name for themselves in the past, and it has been an important integration of college sports, especially the MAC tournament for basketball. But you think the past 10 or 15 years, it really hasn't hit the same. And, you look at their 31-0 record, as quick as you are to congratulate them, I know there are a ton of people that are just looking to discredit them, just like you said, because of the level of competition. But at the same time, we have to factor in the simple fact that this is a Division I school. Now, it may not be a Power 5 school, ACC, SEC, Big Ten, so on and so forth. Yeah. But at the same time, these are all Division I athletes. So, to be on the side of saying, oh, their 31-0 record means absolutely nothing. It's completely asinine to me. I definitely think they deserve one of the 68 slots. If they lose in the tournament, so be it. Most of those teams that are going to be in the preliminary 64 for March Madness probably don't have 30 wins themselves. No. Yet we still find some type of merit or credit to think that we can discredit Miami of Ohio for what they have done this year. It's completely asinine and very ass backwards. I don't agree with it at all. And to say that if they lose in the MAC tournament that they won't get a spot in March Madness is even worse.
Yeah, I can't imagine them getting. Well, and some people are saying even if they get to the MAC final, that's it. So they'll be what 34, 35, and 1 for the season, and you're going to shut that team out. And I get it. The win and you're in, aspect of the whole all the conference tournaments. You're going to have teams in there that are 16 and 18. Below 500 teams that just got hot at the right time of the year that weren't consistently good enough all year to beat every single team on their schedule, no matter what you think of the competition. Listen, they've had some overtime games. They've had some tough games. Akron, by the way, and men's basketball in the MAC has gone 34-2 over the last 2 seasons. So it's not like the conference is completely devoid of good basketball teams, right? Like they've got some competition there. And I understand, again, we're not talking about, like you said, the Big Ten, the SEC, any of these conferences that are considered the Power 5, whatever. And I know they're not big time college basketball, but man, for a team that goes 31-0 in a field of 68 teams where, like I said, we're going to have teams that are under 500. I mean, I just don't see how you don't. And by the way, they're one of 8 teams over the last 50 years. I'm looking at the list right now to start 30-0 in a season. And all of these teams were ranked number 1 at some point during the season. And I get that Miami of Ohio is not necessarily going to, ascend to the top of the top 25. They're not going to be ranked number 1 in the nation. I get that. But man, to be completely disregarded as this isn't UCF claiming a national title because they finished the season undefeated, right? Like, this is, this is a sport where, again, we allow 68 teams into the tournament to decide who is a national champion. Miami of Ohio at 31-0 should absolutely be one of those 68 teams. You could obviously make the argument for UCF that they shouldn't have been a playoff team the year they finished 13-0. That's fine. I get it. They probably shouldn't have been. Strength of schedule is what it is. College football is very, very different from college basketball. I think there's a lot more parity in college basketball than maybe some people are willing to give it credit for right now. And I just think it's really hard to go 31-0 in any sport at any level. You've seen, I don't know, I've been on some really, really good baseball teams in my time. And I know baseball is a different sport than basketball, but the point is, I mean, any day, anybody could have your number, right? There's got to be a situation you go to an arena and shots aren't dropping or whatever. This hasn't happened to Miami of Ohio this season, 31-0. And we're really talking about how maybe they don't deserve to be in the tournament. I don't know. It just.
And then some damn 15 and 18 team is going to be like the 16th seed or some shit. Like, come on now.
Right.
Be serious.
Right. And we're talking about Miami being an 11 seed. I mean, I think they should at least have, they're in the top 25. I think they should at least have maybe the allowance of being a top, I don't know, a 6, a 7 seed. I mean, I get that they're not
7.
Yeah, just reward them for what they've done. And we shouldn't like compare them against historic. Well, the Gonzaga team that started 30-0 played this strength of schedule. Well, that's fine. I mean, that was great for that year, for that team. These guys deserve to be rewarded for going 31-0.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment. Yeah. That ain't no participation trophy accomplishment either. You guys went out there and went 31 for 31. I don't see how you can't field one of the 68 spots that are going to be qualified for March Madness. This is nuts.
Right. And if this was a top 16 tournament, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Exactly. Miami would be 31-0, and it'd be fine going to the NIT, and that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say a word. But 68 teams is different, TK. I mean, that's a lot of teams to say, this 31-0 team doesn't.
I mean, just think about it. Think about it. Does that even make sense to you?
No.
Does it make sense to anyone?
Some people, apparently. So if they play a top 50 schedule next year and go 21-10, are they a better team?
I mean, I don't even know, but it's just like, look, man, it's not like we're talking about Ferris State here. Okay. This is a Division I program. Like, in college football, I could see exclusion like this because there's only a 12-team format to begin with. So I can see you excluding someone in that. Fine, whatever. It sucks, but you do understand. 68 teams, they need to make their way into that. There has to be some kind of way that they can be one of those teams because it is not computed at all. It's really
and
not.
I think the argument, which is a false argument, that well, more teams finish undefeated like this in college basketball. Well, then where are they? I mean, if the MAC is so easy to go 31-0 in, like where are the other MAC schools that are 18-0 in the conference, right? Like why did they not run the table? If it's so easy to do, and I get it. Listen, it deserves to be mentioned. They have the 364th ranked non-conference schedule in the nation. That's not great. Okay. 364th wild.
That is also not their fault.
Not their fault. We talked about it. I mean, they tried to schedule games. They tried to improve their schedule. They tried to get some better competition for this team that, their coaches felt was, again, veteran laden, battle tested, kind of like, let's get some tests before we get to the tournament. And it's not going to do them any. Listen, this is, and I get when they get there, they might be completely overwhelmed by the talent level of whoever it is that they end up playing because they haven't had the challenges. But that, again, that's not a reason. That's not their fault. You can't hold that against them. And so be it. If they do, they do. If they get overwhelmed and get beat, I mean, so guess what? So do 67 other teams. At some point, everybody's going to lose a game except for that one team that's left standing at the end. So it's not like, we start this team or this tournament of 68 teams and we everybody wins every game. I mean, there's a loser in every single game. It doesn't matter who the matchup is. I just don't get holding this against them. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I get it. It's crazy too because you think about the rest of the MAC. Akron was 25-6. Yeah. Kent was 23-8. The rest of those teams are either hovering or below 500.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe we can make the SEC argument. The MAC is so good, they're cannibalizing each other in the regular season. That's stupid. Oh man, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Well, whatever. Like I said, I think Miami of Ohio deserves to be in. I guess we don't need to spend any more time on this. We'll see what happens in the MAC tournament. I'm going to have my eye on all the conference tournaments coming up here. It happens so quickly, man. It's like the regular season's over, and all of a sudden, boom, we're in the semifinals. And I'm like, how did I miss 18,000 conference tournament games in 2 days or whatever? But it seems like that happens to me every year, so I have to pay a little better attention. But we'll keep our eye on Miami of Ohio. We'll continue to let you know what happens if they, make it into the tournament. 14 seed at 35-0 or something. Who knows? A little bit of a unfair situation, but again, not their fault. They tried. Okay, TK. Let's completely switch gears. College basketball. We're gonna go from that. We're gonna go to the NFL. Let's head to pro football. Let's a little more of a contact sport. But right now it's kind of a non-contact part of the season, right? Even the trades aren't official yet. The league new year doesn't start until next Wednesday. I believe that's the 11th. We said a moment just before this. A lot of trades happening. Most importantly, I'm going to start with Max Crosby going to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks because that's right here in our division. And if you happen to know anything, TK, about the Browns' offensive line situation, but we've had a couple of discussions about it. I don't know if you remember. You're getting a little old like me. No, you're not getting old. The Browns aren't in a good situation, offensive line. And now you've got Max in the division. Poor Joe Burrow, by the way. I saw someone say that Joe Burrow has to face Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt, each of those guys twice in a season. He's probably just going to demand a trade or retire now, but whatever. I saw a joke. Somebody said Aaron Rodgers retired too once he saw Max Crosby. I'm like he was, obviously the game plan that they had against the Browns showed that they were so obsessed with avoiding anything Myles Garrett related that, is this what they're going to do against the Ravens as well? You can't survive like this. Anyway, Max Crosby to the Ravens. A, does that make sense to you? B, how much does that terrify you as a Browns fan with no offensive line? And C, 2 first-rounders?
Right? Well, A, it makes perfect sense because I do think with the Jesse Minter hire at head coach, they want to look at ways to improve this defense even more. Now, a lot of their struggles on defense had to do with the lack of personnel. They got hit with a boatload of injuries right after week 3. It was so strange. We just watched Raven after Raven drop like flies. And so that defense definitely suffered a lot. Getting a guy like Max Crosby instantly puts you guys back up to the next level. That helps guys out like Roquan Smith. That helps out guys like sorry, my apologies. It definitely helps guys like Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton, especially in that back end. It may cut off some of the time which you need to cover because Max Crosby is going to cover whatever ground that quarterback that they're facing is going to try to make up. So it definitely makes a ton of sense for them. As a Browns fan, I got soil in my drawers right now. It's bad. This is a year in which we have to rebuild our entire offensive line. They are all going to leave. And now you make this defense that we have to see twice a year that much more lethal with an above average all-world guy like Max Crosby. Yeah, I'm scared to death. And for 2 first-round draft picks, a little bit expensive, but at the same time, we just talked about it. A player of the caliber of a Mad Max Crosby, yo, I'll take 2 first-rounders for that. To be quite honest, I think it could have been more.
Okay.
Someone got away with one. They really did.
Okay. All right. Listen, I mean, there was a time where we, as football fans and analysts and whatever, there was a time where we were obsessed with a good edge rusher, right? I mean, it's still a game changer. I mean, a guy like Max Crosby is still a game changer. Yeah, you have to have one, and I think you have to add one to a good team. Obviously, he wasn't, enough in Las Vegas to move the needle quite enough for the Raiders to be good, especially with Geno Smith just completely bottoming out at quarterback last season. We talked about it at times. It looked like he was completely lost. Listen, it happens. No shade to Geno Smith. It just didn't have a good year. It didn't look good. At all.
Right.
But yeah, Max Crosby. So let me ask you this too. The Bears are making some moves. So the Bears traded DJ Moore away to the Bills for a 2nd-round pick. That seems to make sense for the Bills. They need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver 1. I thought they would go with more of a burner type of a guy. I mean, DJ Moore, he's not slow, but
yeah, he got some jets on him.
Yeah, and there's been some talk about receivers needing to run like a 4-2, which I don't think is true at all. It's not necessary. If you can run a route, you can create some separation early on in a route. That's what matters. There aren't a whole lot of guys
run a 4-4 or worse.
Yeah.
Keeping it real with you.
Yeah. So I think I started to buy into that for a second here. But DJ Moore for a 2nd round, does that make sense for you?
It makes sense. Definitely makes sense. To get a guy like DJ Moore for a 2nd-round pick, I think that's definitely a pretty good trade. You think the production that he's had over the past couple of years, that they may have overspent for that, but at the same time, when you think of the type of talent that Dennis Moore Jr. really is, a 2nd-round pick ain't nothing to be stressed about at all, especially with the conundrum that the Bills wide receiver room has become over the past season. Obviously, the unknown future of Keon Coleman is the big bugaboo here. Obviously, you're wondering if Brandon Cooks is going to return. You think, do you really even want him to return, especially after that crucial drop in the AFC divisional game against the Broncos? I don't know if they've forgotten about that yet. Yeah. They just released Curtis Samuel after completing the DJ Moore trade. We're still in the tampering period. Yeah. So, but yeah, this definitely makes a lot of sense. I think Josh Allen should be very excited. You still got to figure out what you're going to do with both tight ends, though. I know Dalton Kincaid is going to be a significant part of their future. I do not know where Dawson Knox stands right now, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out going later on into the offseason and the free agency, things of that nature. But yeah, the Bills did a good job by getting this one. Again, 2nd-round pick ain't nothing to sneeze at, especially if you are going for a position of need and you get a guy as talented as DJ Moore. You definitely want to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears get a 2nd-round pick. I mean, you kind of wonder, will they go for a center? But they did. I mean, for what it's worth, they traded a 5th-round pick to the Patriots for Garrett Bradbury. That probably depth. So you wonder, do the Bears pick a center in that 2nd round with that 2nd round pick, that newly acquired 2nd round pick? Do they go for another wide receiver? I kind of feel like they may go offensive line there and try to look for a center, because the reason they traded DJ Moore, I think, was because they were trading from a position of strength. And Moore's, his production had kind of dwindled over the last couple of seasons. He had a really good first year with Justin Fields. If you remember, I think it was like 1,400 yards, a bunch of touchdowns. It looked really, really good. It looked like those two were going to blossom together, and the Bears offense was taking off, but it didn't really work that way. Fields, it seems like every year Fields, his I don't know, it just he instead of opening up into the offense more and more as he goes on in the NFL, it's like he closes more and more, and he just holds on to the ball longer, and he's more, there's more indecision, and I'm not really sure what's going on with Justin Fields.
He's way too into his head right now.
Yeah.
At this point, I think he's unintentionally doing it to himself, and it really is sad, especially as a Buckeyes fan.
Yeah, it's tough to see for sure. But I think we'll just have to. It's one of those things we'll have to keep an eye on. We'll see what the Bears do with that 2nd round pick. If they lean toward, I would think you're going to have a starting center. And as far as free agency is considered, I think. Well, and I'm just looking at some of the projections in free agency, I guess. And we'll start with somebody who's projected to go to the Browns. According to ESPN, their predicted landing spot for Rasheed Walker is a 4-year, $80 million contract with $50 million guaranteed to Cleveland.
No.
I was a little surprised by that.
I was a little pissed by that. No, absolutely not. Do I think Rasheed Walker is a solid tackle? Yes. Yeah. Do I think Rasheed Walker is a solid enough tackle to acquire $20 million a year? No, the hell I do not, and neither should anyone else, including the Green Bay Packers. Listen, from what I have seen from Rasheed Walker, he is a decent pass blocker. He's not, he's not one of the worst offensive linemen in the NFL by any stretch of the imagination. But there is a lot to be desired. Rasheed Walker does tend to struggle a little bit against the speed guys. He'll do a little bit better against the speed guys versus the power guys, because you saw what Myles Garrett was able to do to him week 3. We got an up close and personal look at that. I just don't
run. Yeah.
Like a scene from Jurassic Park and on a Sunday afternoon at 2. But anyway, it's like, listen, this guy is about as average of an NFL starter as you're going to get. He's going to struggle. He's going to struggle against the speed rushers. He can handle his own somewhat against the power rushers that aren't named Myles Garrett. But still, I just do not think that we should be forfeiting $20 million a year to this guy. The tackle that we got not too long ago, Titus Howard, in the I think we traded a 5th rounder for him.
Mm-hmm.
Howard gave up a sack last year. And he may not have been the perfect lineman, but boy, was he close to it. Yeah. He was very, very borderline elite pass protector, good in the run game as well. I don't see Rasheed Walker being that, especially for another franchise, especially for us, when we don't know exactly what the quarterback situation is going to be. Now, a team with a more solidified plan at the quarterback position may go ahead and kick the tires on, giving them that 4-year, $80 million deal. That's just what the player market is right now. I can't argue with the market. I don't want to disrespect Rasheed Walker at all, but I do not think he is that high priced of a free agent as we are making him out to be. I really don't think he is an echelon. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's damn good. I damn sure don't think he's great. So to be able to forfeit $80 million over 4 years to a guy that ain't that great is again very asinine to me.
Yeah.
So and especially with a team with no cap space at all. We have no damn money to be goofing this off. I guarantee you 3 of those starters on that offensive line come September are going to be rookies.
Yeah.
We do not have money to play this game right now.
And you better hope that those draft picks right, by the way. You can't miss.
Exactly. And when you have to replace the entire offensive line, and you look at the left tackle position first, and you know that this guy is not damn good or great, and you have other damn good or great offensive linemen that are out there, like Tyler Lindenbaum from Baltimore. Now I'm throwing 20 million AAV at him way before I throw 20 million AAV at Rasheed Walker. That's just how I'm getting down.
Yeah. Hey, Lindenbaum is projected to the Bears, by the way, for 4 years, 90 million. Just
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, according to their forecast or whatever. Their crystal ball, if you will, you know.
Yeah. But it makes perfect sense, especially with the retirement of Drew Dahlman. Best wishes to you and your endeavors. But yeah, to get a guy like Tyler Linderbaum, especially after you just traded for Garrett Bradbury. Now, I know Garrett Bradbury isn't the greatest center in the world, but he is a capable starter. He has started a handful of games for both the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots. He could easily slide in and start for the Bears if need be. But if they go out there and they nail Tyler Linderbaum, boy, howdy, is your center room looking spotless right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can add some depth at wide receiver if you want to with that second round pick. Again, they don't need that. They've got plenty of pass catchers, but I mean, you could, man, you talk about winning a trade, and that's how you win a trade, right? Like you immediately replace the assets. But I don't know. I mean, I was a little surprised to see that. That's the only player on ESPN's list of free agents that they have, forecasted to go to the Browns. So for what it's worth, I guess it's all in on Rasheed Walker for 4 years, 80 million. Listen, the Browns are coming from a place of need, right? And then maybe that's why maybe the market gets a little bit inflated because you have to have a left tackle. You can't put nobody out there, much the way they did for 4 years of Jedrick Wills, right? You can't do that. I hate to do that, but it's true. But yeah, you got to have somebody out there, and if you got to have somebody decent, then you're going to have to overpay right now if you're the Browns. And I think to your point, I think it's a smart thing to wait and at least have an idea of who the quarterback is going to be before you start spending big money on offensive linemen. Bring guys into the draft, and if you're going to supplement through free agency, maybe wait until next season when you know a little bit more about the future of the quarterback spot, because it does matter. The type of offensive lineman that you have absolutely matters depending on your quarterback. If you've got a more mobile guy, you want to have, probably some lighter offensive linemen that can move a little bit and, float with the pocket and make adjustments on the fly or whatever. If you've got a guy that's just going to sit back there in the pocket like Aaron Rodgers and, plant his feet and wait for the concrete to set or whatever while he throws, then you're going to have
a brick wall out there.
Yeah, exactly. So it does matter. It absolutely matters. I think that's a good point. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Browns are in a situation where they can really wait to see who the quarterback's going to be before they start acquiring offensive linemen. You got to do something. But I think that's why you build interior, right? You go for center, go for guards. Think about the running game first. Draft a tackle, and then kind of see where guys fall into place, and you can supplement next year through free agency when maybe you have a little bit more cap room. So I don't know. I think that's probably a smarter move. Anybody else? Any other? By the way, I was looking at Malik Willis. They have him 2 years, $44 million to the Cardinals. And I mean, does no one respect Jacoby Brissett? I thought Jacoby Brissett did enough in a weird situation in Arizona to at least get a shot at a look at being a starter there, didn't you?
Yeah. To be quite honest, yes, I did. I was very impressed with what Jacoby Brissett was able to do in the second half of the season. Definitely thought he clearly outplayed Kyler Murray and made a case for himself as a 2026 starter. But new head coach Mike LaFleur may have different plans going into the season. They have the third overall pick. I don't necessarily think they want to draft somebody. Definitely not that high. McDowell's is already going to be gone. I don't really see a clear-cut QB2 in this draft class right now.
Not the first round.
You're stuck somewhere between Ty Simpson, Taylon Green, and maybe Garrett Nussmeier. So, and again, maybe. So yeah, they might not draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Malik Willis going to the Cardinals, it does make a little bit of sense, especially since Kyler Murray is going to be gone by the start of the new year. 2 years, $44 million. It's steep for a guy with only 6 career starts. A bit steep, but again, that's what the player market is. That's what the player market requires. So that's what we're going to go with. Malik Willis to the Cardinals makes a ton of sense for their running game. Arizona's running game was absolutely piss-ass abysmal last year. And you think about the mountain of injuries that they had. They lost Trey Benson, the Florida State running back, early. Amari DiMercato after his embarrassing blunder against the Tennessee Titans. He missed a couple games due to injury. I think they had Michael Carter on the roster for a little bit. He was delegated to punt return and special teams duty for a majority of the season for the Arizona Cardinals. So there is really no true answer in that running game for the Arizona Cardinals. So to be able to add a quarterback like Malik Willis, who obviously has the damn jets, would be a significant improvement to that Arizona run game, and would be a nice Band-Aid to put over that until we can find out what exactly the entirety of this backfield is going to look like.
Yeah. Hey, getting back to I just saw this comment, and it's weird. It tells me that it came in at 7:28 a.m. But from our guy Ryan Moster, when we were talking about Miami of Ohio men's basketball, I said it would be an absolute injustice if they didn't make it to the dance. Appreciate you, Ryan. We agree with you, obviously, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Sunday Sports Show. We can even talk about it then if you want to. Appreciate you, Ryan. But yeah, I don't know. And I'm seeing, by the way, just other things that interest me as far as Browns holes to fill. Some people had mentioned Rashid Shaheed as a possible target for the Browns.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love it. I would. ESPN says no. He's going in for 3 years and $40 million. How do you feel about that?
Yes, that would be perfect. Listen, again, we don't have money to be playing these damn games. We really don't.
Yeah.
However, Rashid Shaheed, without a shadow of a doubt and a salt on my ear, will be the best returnman that we have had in this city since the great Josh Cribbs. Without question. That man was absolutely cash money for the New Orleans Saints for 6 seasons, and then did the exact same thing almost immediately for the Seattle Seahawks in their road to an NFL championship. Listen, we get him for 3 years, $42 million. And listen, it's not just the special team that we're getting from this club, too. Homeboy can fly with that deep route now. You hit him on that post route, too. You get that quarterback situation figured out. Shador's got the best deep ball on this football team right now. You think he's not going to want to add to that treasure chest? Isaiah Bond and Jerry Jeudy, and hopefully we get Cadillac Tate in April. If the cards fall right into place for us to do so, and then you nail Rashid Shaheed in free agent. Listen, and you had that boy return everything.
And that can help in a bad offense really easily. And you've got Harold Fannin at tight end who can kind of help sink down. It gives you a little bit of room. Not even necessarily over the top, but just in that intermediate to long, type of route. It gives you a little bit more room to work when you've got a tight end like Fannin, who's a legitimate pass catcher over the middle. So I think that makes a difference. I would love to see Rashid Shaheed here. I don't know if he would want to come to Cleveland or not, but they have Mike Evans, tabbed to go back to Tampa Bay. No surprise there. Alec Pierce to the Chargers. How would you feel about Alec Pierce for 3 years, $80 million?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, this is a guy that averages 40 catches a year. 40 catches, 4 touchdowns a year. And ain't worth no damn $26 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't care what the hell the player market said. That ain't worth $26 million a year. You are a deep threat, sir.
Yeah.
Deep threat prices, please.
Yeah, I'll take Rashid Shaheed in that situation. If you're going to give me the choice, if I have my choice as a Browns fan, I'm taking Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, TK, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little baseball. Unless there's anything else you want to get into transaction-wise or anything you expect to see or anything you were surprised to see just regarding any of the NFL, the transactions that weren't because they're not official yet, but they will be. Anything else that you wanted to mention on the NFL before we go?
Nah, brother, you covered a majority of it. Did a great job.
I appreciate
Next
you.
subject.
You're the first person to tell me I did a good job in a long time. No, I'm kidding. We're going to take a break. And before we go, remember, please visit our sponsor, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Use that code. Use the Inside Edge 20 code, capital I, capital E. It's all one word. I'll put it up for you again as we before we go to break here. For 20% off your order for all first-time buyers. You're going to get the 20% off by using that code, Inside Edge 20. So, again, right now we have the autumn day candle still going strong in my house. It smells amazing. Now it's 70 degrees outside. I've got the windows open, candles burning, just a nice breeze. You can smell it all through the house. It's amazing. It's starting to be a really good time of year. Maybe my favorite. We'll talk about it later at the end of the show. We'll debate it. I don't know if we're going to debate it. We may agree. Yeah, we may agree. But we'll get to it. But give us five or so minutes on the Inside Edge Network here. We'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with us on a Saturday now afternoon. We just switched over to afternoon. Look at that. And we'll be right back with you here in 5. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. Welcome back to Illegal Formation. Yeah, we talked a little college basketball before the break. We talked some NFL, some transaction stuff. Even though, keep that on the hush. Those aren't official yet. That didn't happen. None of that stuff we talked about actually happened. That Max Crosby trade isn't official, although I've seen people already photoshopping him into a Ravens jersey, TK. I've already seen what he's going to look like when he's terrorizing, Shedeur Sanders or whoever the left tackle is going to be for the Browns, whatever. Already got a pretty good look at that. So, and for what it's worth, it looks like Lamar Jackson knew that was coming. Just a couple hours before that was announced, Lamar Jackson, he was all over social media. It seemed like he was posting, things to show his excitement of something that was maybe going to happen. So I think he might have had a little advanced knowledge on that. That's okay. That's good. You want your quarterback to know what's going on, right? Even on the defensive side of the ball. By the way, before we get into any spring training or World Baseball Classic stuff, I saw an interview. Jim Rome talked to Ryan Day, TK, and Ryan Day said, "I didn't even know Jim Rome was still doing whatever." I thought I don't know. It was cool to see. I just hadn't watched in a while, I guess. But Ryan Day says he wants Arthur Smith to be the head coach of the offense for the Buckeyes. I mean, I think that sounds like a good deal, don't you? We don't have to spend too much time on that, but I thought, listen, I think Arthur Smith is best. He does well in a spread offense with a little bit of power run. I know he didn't have that kind of a situation in Pittsburgh, but I also think they didn't really have the personnel to run, exactly what they run in Columbus. It's a little different. So how do you feel about Ryan Day giving up total control of the offense to Arthur Smith?
I don't necessarily mind it due to the simple fact that Arthur Smith has a ton of NFL experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this in regards to Arthur Smith. If he has an elite 3-down running back, anything is possible.
Okay.
That is the main thing that I will say about Arthur Smith. Do not look at this man as some type of offensive genius, because he is not.
Yeah.
He really isn't. Is he a solid offensive coordinator? Sure, I'll give him solid. Is he innovative and creative and super gadgety and knows how to get players involved? He's not necessarily the greatest at that. But if you give him an elite tailback, i.e. Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, things will be fine.
Okay. What about Bo Jackson? Not that Bo Jackson, but the Ohio State version of Bo Jackson.
Right. Hopefully he can be elite. Hopefully one of those kids in that backfield can be elite.
Yeah.
But yeah, due to the fact that he has NFL experience and some at a very high level, he was the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans when they went on their AFC Championship run in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons for 3 seasons. Was the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh for 2 years. You guys had to sit through Kenny Pickett for a majority of that. That was pretty nightmarish, but somehow, some way, they were still able to win games. I just think, why not? Because you think, Matt Patricia was a, disgraced former NFL coach, head coach, whatever you want to call it. And he made beautiful music last year, obviously before losing to Indiana and Miami in the way which we did.
Yeah, wasn't the defense's fault, though. Yeah.
Right. He was able to rebuild his reputation a little bit as a solid play caller and a over-the-top strategist, schematics guy. That's becoming a term as of late. I don't know if I'm late to the party, but that's a term that I've been hearing a lot lately, schematic guy.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith, as far as the schematics, not horrible, just not anything to write home about, I think. But if you have an elite running back in the fold, everything should be okay.
Okay, so I'm not looking at it like a Chip Kelly, Tom Herman type of offense. You're telling me?
Chip Kelly's okay. Tom stinks.
Okay, fair enough. But it's not going to be that creative, right? From Arthur Smith, it's like Herman has some creative stuff. Obviously, Chip Kelly, we talk about all the time. I mean, Kelly was pretty ultra creative. I mean, the things he did with the running game, and his 1 year as the offensive coordinator at Ohio State were pretty impressive. You saw the immediate drop off then too.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to get into that too. Sorry, I cut you off. My fault.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, Chip Kelly should definitely remain in college football. That is something that he has an absolute vice grip over. I understand you enjoy the challenge of the NFL. You did okay as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. I say okay because that first year was beautiful. Everything else after that playoff loss to New Orleans was either shit or dog shit. So, it's just, not really something that I care to go about. And, of course, his stint with the Oakland Raiders, his Las Vegas Raiders. Someone stop calling them Oakland.
I can't do it. I'm having a hard time with
it. But they belong in Oakland. Anyway, the stint with the Raiders didn't go as well. I think he was fired after, 11 games. So, brother, just stay in college football. You have a vice grip over the universe of college football. Just keep it that way until you decide to hang them up.
It's fair. You got to be who you are in this world. I've said it before on the show. That's one of my favorite quotes from a movie. It just is what it is, right? What else we got going on? Let's see. We got to talk baseball. We're going to switch gears. That's enough college football for now. I can always talk college football, but for now, we're going to switch gears because it's starting to be baseball season. We got World Baseball Classic stuff going on. We have spring training. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about World Baseball Classic? You want to talk about spring training? What's heavy on your mind right now?
Kind of want to talk about the Indians.
Okay.
Guardians. Good God.
Yeah, that's I think that's a swear jar situation. I think you got to put a swear jar. That's for the whole network. Yeah. Real quick, I just want to say in the World Baseball Classic right now, it looks like a Little League tournament. I know it's only after 2 games, but Shohei Ohtani is hitting .833 with 2 home runs. It's ridiculous. It's fun to see. Fun to see this kind of number. You don't see that kind of number.
World Baseball Classic.
Love it.
And after this year, they need to cancel that shit. That doesn't make any damn sense.
No.
They need to cancel that. No, absolutely not. That's terrible.
Why?
I understand Shohei is like that. I understand he's like that. An .833 batting average in 2 games.
You start off high. It's just bull play right now. I mean, you've got teams. We talked about Great Britain's uniforms off the air today. I mean, you've got teams in here that are just happy to be there, right? You've literally got teams that are just, hey, we're happy to be here.
Right.
The competition will get better as it goes on, as we get out of pool play, and that'll get a little better. So don't worry about that, TK. But let's talk about the Guardians. Let's talk about spring training baseball. Real quick, I want to take the time to point out the fact, just while I have it, that the Braves are on top of the standings right now. And I want you to remember this because I don't think this is going to be consistent with all year this year. Right now, if you look at the Grapefruit League, the Braves are a half a game up on the Yankees because it's weird. You got teams that play in Florida, teams that play in Arizona. So the Grapefruit League right now, the Braves are 10-2. I don't think this is the way the regular season is going to go for Atlanta. You've also got the Yankees there at 10-3. But then I know that, the next 3 teams are pretty much just warm butt. You got the Cardinals at 8-4, Pirates at 9-5, and the Nationals are sitting at 6-4. So I'm not going to get too excited about being on top of the standings right now because the Braves have already had 2 pitchers go on extended IL, 60-day IL with elbow stuff, procedures, right, loose bodies, whatever. You got the Jurickson Profar incident where he was stupid enough to be caught for a 2nd year in a row, testing positive for performance-enhancing stuff, whatever. Just pure stupidity. And TK, I'm not one to – I don't ever dump on athletes like that. I will give the benefit of the doubt all day. It's not easy to be a professional athlete by any means.
Absolutely not.
That was pure stupidity. To be caught 2 years in a row in spring, not even to make it out of spring training, 2 years in a row is the absolute height of stupidity. I'm sorry, I can't forgive that. It can't be forgiven.
Right. I totally get it, Chad. As much as I advocate for bringing back steroids, and I truly, deeply, madly believe that they need to bring back steroids, especially to baseball. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules. But
that's it.
We can't do it.
Maybe
you guys could shoot up like back in the day, and get your anabolic pills over the counter so you can go ahead and hit 75 home runs in the season and have everybody thinking you're Thanos on wheels. But at the same time, we can't do the roids, baby. Until we get a new commissioner in there. You get me in that thing, I'll let you do all the roids you want. But that ain't gonna happen.
There you go. So this is the beginning of TK Dandridge's campaign to be commissioner of baseball right there. It started right here live on Illegal Formation. We'll never forget that. Let's talk about the Guardians, because where are they? They're 7-8 right now. And again, I'm not, let's not make a big deal about spring training records. I'm not tooting the Braves horn at all for being 10-2 right now. I don't necessarily think the Braves are going to have that great of a regular season. They could be good. They could even sneak into a wild card. I don't expect them to win the NL East. You can't start out with this many injuries and this many problems and this many distractions and this many issues and whatever word you want to use. You can't start like this and expect to have 100, 102 wins. I think that's what it's going to take ultimately to win that NL East this year. So, the Braves could be in trouble unless they find something. But so the Guardians, TK, tell me why when I look at the Cleveland Guardians at 7-8, okay, and I scroll down here and I go, well, where are the Detroit Tigers? Okay, well, they're 3-6. They're not playing very well either. Their roster is a little decimated. They're dealing with World Baseball Classic stuff, and I'm sure you saw where Tarek Skubal said he's pitching one game, right, for Team US, and then he's going to report back to Detroit. I think the bottom line, everybody's like, oh, look at that, he's trying to help his team win. I think the bottom line is he's in a contract year. I think that's most of his concern right now. Unfortunately, in baseball, it's like that, right? Like you got to take about yourself. You got to be very selfish when it comes to these things. Maybe that the work stoppage is going to aim to alleviate with the salary floor, a salary cap. I don't know that the salary cap is going to be something that the players are going to just go, yeah, okay, sure, let's do that. Let's cap our earnings when guys are making ridiculous out of this world money. It's not NBA money, on average, but guys at the top of baseball are making ridiculous money. And they're not going to want to give that up. So that's going to be that's going to be a big point of contention after December 1st, but we don't have to worry about that until December, TK. Let's talk about why I should be excited as a Guardians fan. Give me something, man. Are they going to win the AL Central? Are they going to win 140 games? Like what's going on? Why should I be excited?
Me personally, I just think, all the years that we've gone into a Guardian season thinking, well, okay, this is going to be the rebuilding year. We got rid of this, that, and the other. So not really expecting to be that great. And to winning 95 games, anywhere between 90 to 95 games. So to be quite honest, what gets me excited about this Guardians team is that they have made things happen in the past. And for some foolish reason, whether it is blind faith, whether it is me actually making sense for the first time in 33 3/4 years of being on this damn planet, I just think they make things happen. They have a decent roster. I like the pitching rotation. Obviously, I'm hurt that we gave up on Shane Bieber so soon, but I do understand what the fear was with the type of injury that he had. So if you wanted to get some compensation for him at any time, that was probably the time to do so.
Yeah. And I really like the guy they got back for him, by the way. Cal Steven, I think, projects very, very well. Not in the immediate future for the Guardians, maybe a couple years, but I think he projects very, very well to be a top-end starter, especially with the way the Guardians work with fastball slider guys. I'm super excited about Cal Stevens. So, but that's neither here nor there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the rest of the team, obviously Jose is still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited about our pitching rotation.
Yeah.
I don't know much about these guys outside of Pete Avila and Gavin Williams, who I'm a big fan of. I definitely think Gavin is going to be the opening day guy. I could be wrong here. But, if Gavin Williams is the opening day pitcher, our number one pitcher, I definitely think he's going to have an even bigger year. I think he's going to be more involved. We could possibly see him start about 35 games this year. Granted, he stays healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy.
Right.
And I just think this team is just pretty deep. I don't think this is a team that is looking to rebuild at all. I definitely think they want to improve on what they did last season. If not, at the very least, match it. Go out there and win 90 games, win the division, and get a playoff spot. So, if you are a Guardians fan and you're looking to be excited about the season, think exactly how many times you thought it was going to be a rebuilding year, and it didn't happen that way.
Yeah, and it feels like all of a sudden there's a little bit of buzz, right? Like, You worry about Chase DeLauder. I haven't really heard much of an injury report on him or an update on him. So you worry about the lower body stuff with him because with him, it's always like the nagging long-term injuries. I think it's going to be exciting to get a look at Travis Bazan in the World Baseball Classic. I know you don't like the World Baseball Classic, but this is I think it's a good chance for us to get a look at Bazana on a different, just like on a worldwide, the big stage, right? Not the biggest, it's not the World Series, not the playoffs, but I think it'll be a good chance to get a good look at him and just see how he can carry that Australian lineup or whatever. And I also think the Rhys Hoskins signing was kind of cool because, I mean, you go from feeling like your team did nothing in the offseason to improve, right? The only thing you lose Emmanuel Clase last year, he's not coming back. You lose Luis Ortiz, he's not coming back. These guys they're in big trouble. But yeah, you add Rhys Hoskins, and suddenly it's like, okay, well, how long have we talked about the Guardians needing, that big right hand? And I know Hoskins had a down year last year, but usually in baseball, the trend is to kind of regress to the norm. But I think Hoskins for Rhys Hoskins, I think he would progress back to the norm. It would be a leap back up a little bit if he's healthy and can play, 115, 130, whatever games for the Guardians. I think that's a great sign that they are looking to win now. And granted, the Guardians aren't going to be the team that goes out and, spends $280 million over 7 years on a pitcher to watch them make, 18 starts over 7 seasons or whatever. They're not going to do that. They're going to, but what they do really well is they develop guys from within, right? And that's why I thought, again, adding Cal Steven, minor league guy who had just had crazy numbers. I mean, it looks like he could be with this Guardians scouting and development. Well, not the scouting because they've already scouted him. He's there. Now it's time to develop him, right? And they do a better job, I think, than anybody in the league, maybe, of just taking fastball slider guys and making them really, really effective starting pitchers. But yeah, you've got Logan Allen, Tanner Bybee. Tanner Bybee needs to, I think, maybe be a little more consistent for the Guardians. But if he is, and you've got Gavin Williams up there at the top, and these guys can stay healthy and show some ability to be consistent as starting pitchers. I don't worry so much about the bullpen without Clase. I think you've got guys there that can fill in, and I don't think that, Kate Smith has electric stuff. You've got Hunter Gadd. I think there are pieces there. Really, for a small to mid-market team, I think the Guardians are set up pretty okay. I just worry about them being able to compete with Detroit. It does make me feel a little bit better that they signed Hoskins because my biggest thing was Framber Valdez and Tarek Skubal. Well, the other way around. Skubal and Valdez is the 1-2 in that rotation for Detroit. I think it left the Guardians vulnerable without a big power right-handed bat. But now that they have Hoskins there, they're a little less vulnerable to that. They can do some different things with the lineup, platoon guys in different ways. And I think they're just a little more solidly built to compete with Detroit today than they were maybe 3 weeks ago before the move. Does that make them a better team? Yeah. If Hoskins is healthy, sure. I think it does. I think it could add maybe 2-4 wins. And I had projected them to win about 88 games. I think that maybe it puts them into the low 90s now if he's healthy. So I think that one move for really not a whole ton of money, I think that made a big difference for them. I thought that was a smart, frugal move by the Guardians, and I'm here for it. I mean, this is what they do, right, TK?
Say it again, boss.
Oh, I just said this is what the Guardians do. I just thought it was a smart, frugal move to pick up Hoskins on a, kind of a come back, prove me kind of a deal. And I mean, we know what he's capable of, and this is what they do. I mean, they take these chances, and this one feels like it could work out.
Absolutely, and it was definitely a move that I was excited about. I was so anxious to break the news, and I absolutely kind of lost my head a little bit when Ryan ripped it off that we had gotten Rhys Hoskins first. But yeah, definitely a 1-year proven deal for a guy that has been a multiple-time All-Star. You think, at the age of 33, coming off of a significant injury, he had a very injury-riddled 2025 season, only 12 home runs, still managed to get 66 RBIs out of that. So he could still hit that thing when it needs to be hit. It's just a matter of, how is he going to be health-wise going into the season. And I think, taking it easy with him during spring training, just focusing on that injury first to
Yeah.
get him ready for late March, early May, April, so that he can be a key contribution to this team. And I think he will. I definitely think he will. This is definitely going to be a bit of a bounce back year. Don't think, on the lines of, all world, all pro as to where he was a few years ago. I'm not expecting a repeat of the 52 home runs that he hit not quite a while ago when he was a member of the Phillies. I'm thinking more so along the lines of, 15 to 25 home runs, somewhere in there. You get the RBIs, keep them around 60 to 60 to 70. At the most, you hope he gets 100 RBI season. That'd be pretty cool. But at the same time, just temper your expectations. He's going to be a solid contributor. Just don't think he's going to go all world on you all of a sudden. Gotta remember, he's 33. So.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm looking at Chase DeLauder, and I mean he's been playing. Again, it's spring training and it's early on, but he's hitting 545. He seems to be seeing the ball well, for whatever that's worth. But he's back, he's playing, and I think that's the important thing. You hope that he can stay healthy. You hope you can get Travis Bazzana up here soon to make a difference, and then all of a sudden now. You've got Kyle Manzardo, Jose Ramirez, Travis Bazzana, if they can get him going the way that they think he can play, number 1 overall pick. Chase DeLauder, healthy. Stephen Kwan, getting on base. And Rhys Hoskins, platoon at different spots and hitting 20, 25 home runs. All of a sudden, that's a dangerous team. If that starting pitching staff is pretty healthy, then all of a sudden the Guardians look like they have something going on. So, we've got a long season ahead of us, right? The home opener is April 3rd. They'll start off on the road, but they come here and they play at home for the first time April 3rd. So we'll see a couple of things. Hey, are they healthy? Are they all put together? Is it going to snow for the home opener? We'll see all that. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Yeah, I think that's just I think the Guardians look a little bit better than they did 2.5, 3 weeks ago before the Hoskins move. So that makes me pretty happy. I guess we won't talk World Baseball Classic, TK, since you hate it. Oh, man. Party pooper. All right, well, listen.
It's so bad, man.
I think it's fun. I like it. It's like a big travel tournament. You know what I mean? It's like a worldwide travel tournament. And granted, some of the teams, like I said, they're just happy to be there, but that's okay. So let's talk about one last thing before we get off of here, TK. It's winter still, technically. But it's starting to transition into spring. You can feel it's been 70 degrees for a couple of days now. Again, I told you we've got windows open in the house. There's a breeze coming through. Stuff's blowing off. We got to pick all the paper. It's just stuff flying through the house because it's so windy right now. But it got me thinking. I mean, I love the transition from winter to spring, right? But some people really like that transition from summer to fall. So which one is better? And I got lazy this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. I made a pros and cons list. And I was like, I'm going to make a graphic, right? I'm going to put something together. And I was just having a hard time with design. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to ChatGPT. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT to make us a graphic that tells us the pros and the cons and the benefits and the whatever from, going from winter to spring or from summer to fall. And so here's what I got. And you'll notice right away, I don't know what's up with the numbers. The pros are numbered 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 3, 4 over here. I don't know what that's about. Not really sure. There's some duplicates on here. They really like Pumpkin Spice Mania. Apparently, he's a big fan of yelling at the TV during football season because that's number 1 and number 2 on the same pro list. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I think this gives you enough information, TK, that there are some talking points here. And I thought my own list. Winter to spring, right? The return of the sun, right? You get some vitamin D. Yeah. The sun is out longer during the day. Your mood jumps back. It's like, oh, it's 70 degrees outside, and I kind of remember that I enjoy being alive here, right? You forget sometimes during the winter you don't want to go outside, you don't want to do anything.
Hey, I do have a soul.
Exactly, right? Maybe the best part is if you got the windows open during the spring and you're sleeping. This is the time of the year where the birds start their like 4 a.m. screaming competitions. If you ever we've got trees all around the house, so that's a fun thing we got to look forward to as well. Maybe that should have been on the list. You can do outdoor things. The first 65, 70 degree weekend triggers. I think it's mandatory grilling laws in the state of Ohio. You start to smell, it's like burgers and chicken, everything on the grill from everywhere around you. The whole neighborhood's grilling stuff. Snow's mostly gone. It's mostly melted. That's good. I guess some of the cons are this time of year is this is mud season now, right? I can't walk
mud
across my
spring is
yard.
here.
Yeah, I can't walk across my yard because this is the only time where I ever actually have to deal with what I feel like is quicksand. When I walk through the yard, I sink in a couple inches and I'm worried I'm going to lose a shoe. You've got fall, spring. That's a bad thing. It gets warm and then it's going to snow again. We know that's coming. And I think the biggest thing is like the allergies, right? My allergies have woken up. No one invited them back, but they're here. What else? I guess the one bad thing about this time of year is you leave the house in the morning with a coat on. Okay. And that's over here, I think, in the did that make the list? No, Chat GP didn't like that one. I tried to enter it, but it didn't like that one. You got to juggle your outfits, right? You leave in a coat, you end up wearing a t-shirt during the day. By the end of the day, you're carrying a sweatshirt and a coat, you got a winter hat, and you got like some sandals. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're gonna wear. You got every outfit. But then summer to fall is like it's gonna be football season, right? That's when all the college football stuff is coming back on. You get to watch, well, unless you have YouTube TV and Disney rips ESPN away from you every fall. That's starting to be a thing. That's another tradition that probably goes on the cons list now. All your pictures look really good because your trees in your yard do a cool thing where they drop leaves into your yard and you have to pick them up like you are an employee of your trees. I think that's fun too. Again, maybe some of these pros should have been on the cons. Okay, I don't know which way I'm leaning anymore. You tell me, man. Where is it at? Is it from winter to spring or is it from summer to fall? What's the best transition?
All right, I'm going to try to make this as quick as I possibly can. I'm going to do one for me and the general consensus. For me, I have always been a fan of the summer leading into the fall because I spend the entire year thinking about football season.
Yeah.
That's just how weird I am. That's just how obsessed I am with this. And that's just what it's been for me this entire time. I love having a nice summer and then being able to go into fall. I definitely think fall is the best season. And mainly because of football season, whether it's the pros or the college athletes or the high school kids or even the little puny minis, I love football season. Now, the general consensus, I definitely think a lot of people enjoy that winter going into spring. Granted, the allergies are going to spike up. Granted, that's when all the dumb folks are going to come out and start doing mass amounts of dumb shit to where we got cops at every corner now because they want to stop, whatever dumb shit is going to concur because the weather done got nice, and now these niggas want to act out. So with that being said, I definitely think the general consensus is winter going into spring, definitely better weather. We're sick of being cold, obviously. There was a little part in winter, I want to say late January going into the middle of February, where it was just inevitable that we were going to freeze our asses off for that entire day. So, yeah, to be able to get out of that is definitely a good thing. And I definitely think the general consensus would say, I like winter going into spring more than summer going into fall. But for me, it is the opposite.
Okay. Well, I only disagree with you in theory because I like the summer weather. I'm a summer birthday guy. I'm a baseball guy. I played baseball all my life, right? And I played other sports as well, but I mean, baseball is my thing. So I do like that winter into spring because I know what's coming. Weather-wise, I don't love the summer into the fall. I like the cool weather in the fall, but I know, again, what's coming in the winter, which, one day this winter, I was taking my kids to school. It was 20 below zero, and I thought, what are we doing here? Like, I should be hibernating. I shouldn't be outside in this.
Right.
Weather-wise, yeah, I think winter to spring is where it's at for me. But yeah, man, there's nothing better. And even though I'm a baseball guy, TK, I love college football. I love the start of it. I love that end of summer, those first couple games where you get that, the Labor Day weekend games or whatever, where it's like there's going to be a game on Monday. It's probably going to be like number 8 versus number 14. You get like a number 1 versus number 6 early in the weekend. And it's like, man, college football is not just back. Like, it's back. Like, we've got top 10 matchups, everything going on. So, man, for sports, nothing really beats, summer into fall. But then for weather, I love like just the long grind of the baseball season. That's fun for me. But, yeah, it's the weather, right? Going from winter to spring, it's like you can go outside, you can breathe again, except for the allergy part of it. But, you go out there, you don't have to worry about your eyes freezing or your nose freezing and, 30 seconds or whatever. You walk out, it's 20 below and everything freezes and you don't want to do anything. So yeah, I think weather-wise, it's winter to spring. Sports-wise, for sure, summer to fall. I love it. And then also you've got playoff baseball in that transition from summer to fall. So that's one of my favorite things to watch in the world too. So yeah, it's all good there. I'm gonna call this one a tie. TK, I'm not taking a side on this one. I'm calling this one a tie. I'm not even picking one. I'm just gonna say they tie.
I can understand.
You know what actually convinced me was this Chat GPT with 2 times of yelling at the TV, all the pumpkin spice mania, and it's got a point there. I mean, pumpkin spice products in the fall, over 9,000. Pumpkin spice products from winter to spring, 0. You don't really. And maybe that's why we don't see. Maybe the pumpkin is what alleviates our allergies. Maybe that's what we need to look into that. We need to study that. Get somebody on that. All right, man. Do you have anything else before we get out of here? I just heard the rain start coming down, so it's probably about to start storming. It's definitely raining pretty hard here now. So I'm gonna get out of here before my power goes out because it likes to do that here.
Right. Nothing today, Chad. Probably have a little something for you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, yeah. Tomorrow we'll be back with the Sunday Sports Show with Ryan Mosser, and of course TK and I will be there. And don't forget, just don't miss that. Don't forget to tune in for that. Make sure you follow us. All social media. Make sure you're locked in and when we're gonna go live. That way you can never miss a thing here on the Inside Edge Network. Friday night we had a Mic Check Take 2 debut. There's all kinds of programming. We got Real Talk with Papa Moon coming up later with a very special guest. I can't wait to see who that's going to be. A surprise. Can't wait to see who that's going to be. Just everything. Sunday night, it's the main event. There's the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast. There's Jersey Chasers. There's the Commissioner's Couch. There's talking everything. Just everything that we have going on is so exciting. You don't want to miss a thing on the Inside Edge Network. So please make sure, and I'll pop the graphic up. I mean, there it is. You see us. We're on YouTube. We're on X. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. I mean, we are everywhere. We're at Inside Edge Net on every social media platform. So please, again, your support matters. We definitely notice it helps, and we appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't do it without you because what would be the point? We'd just be yelling at each other, on meetings, and it wouldn't be any fun. So please definitely go give us a follow, subscribe, like, comment on our videos that you see, whatever it is, just engage with us in any way that you can because it does help us. Again, we're very grassroots. We're very built from the ground up, and we appreciate and need your support to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we do. And then while we're at it too, let me remind you one more time to visit our sponsor, please, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And first-time purchasers for 20% off your order, use that code Inside Edge 20, capital I, capital E, all one word. That's going to get you 20% off your entire order of candles, of body mists. And I'm telling you right now, it smells amazing. We've only been through the autumn day. I can't wait to burn the others. I just keep taking the lids off and smelling my candles in my studio. They smell amazing. Can't wait to start burning those. But again, guys, we appreciate you. We will see you. Well, TK and I will. We'll see you tomorrow on the Sunday Sports Show, along with, again, our buddy Ryan Mosser. That's it, guys. Please, again, watch the weather today. Make sure you've got your phone notifications turned on. Could get a little hairy later, so always make sure you're aware of what's going on as soon as you can be, because it's that time of year. With spring and summer, I guess maybe that should have been another con. It comes a little bit of wild weather sometimes in Northeast Ohio. It seems like Tornado Alley shifted a little bit. So please keep an eye on the weather. Make sure you're safe in all that you do. And we will see you tomorrow on the Sunday Sports Show. Bye, guys.